Let's see now, maybe it'll do it. There. Yay. But am I live? Aha, I am. I'm live now. And I'm actually visible now. I was playing with my invisibility cloak, so I apologize for the time I was missing. Good morning, Asa. Great to see you out there this morning. So here it is. It's Friday. Yay. And it's a gorgeous day here in the Pacific Northwest. I hope it's that same way wherever it is that you are. And today we have a lot to talk about as we're dealing with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Luckily, we are in for a really great weekend. I almost feel like I have no reason to come on anymore to talk to you. Of course, that's not true. There's always something to talk about. But for today, tomorrow, and on Sunday, we seem to have a nice day. Or nice days, a nice roll of days. So let's break it down a little bit and talk about what it is that we can expect. Today, the moon is in Taurus still, and it turns void, of course, this evening at about 9:30 my time, Pacific Coast time. So for those of you on the East Coast, that'll be after midnight, so technically tomorrow. But it's only a 2-hour void, of course. So by the time we get up tomorrow morning, we're out of the void and we have the moon in Gemini. The moon in Gemini likes to talk, likes to socialize, likes to get on the go, likes to take trips, likes to move around, likes to follow threads of information, and have conversations with different types of people. So when we have the moon in Gemini on the weekend, it seems like we are more social. Maybe we're going out to eat, or we're going, to visit friends. Maybe we're out in the nightlife. Either way you look at it, it is a time for socializing and a time for sharing information, a time for being playful and having some fun. Hallelujah, right? And we have the whole weekend like that once we get through today. And moon in Taurus isn't that bad either, right? We've had some really good couple of days, not without its little glitches, but for the most part, things have been fairly smooth. We have one little minor blip on the screen of our lives today, and that is the sun in a Sesqui Quadrate, which is a 135-degree angle or relationship with one another. If you remember me talking about that, it is a square, 90 degrees, plus another half a square, 45 degrees. You add the 2-degree angles up and you get 135 degrees, and you get a minor irritable sort of contact. But this one with Neptune in it, the irritation, the minor blip on the screen of your day might be a lack of focus or a lack of ability to concentrate, because maybe you're thinking about the weekend and who wants to sit at their desk or do work when, the weather is calling, the beach is calling, all the fun stuff that you could be doing is calling. So at some point today, you might expect that you're going to lose a little bit of concentration. You may feel a little bit like, oh, I need to take a nap. Maybe go outside, ground yourself a little bit, and come back, get whatever it is that you need done, and then go on for your weekend. Today, there's also another minor irritation. So, when you have a lot of minor irritations, it can sort of add up to one big irritation. But this is one that I think is probably not, as soon as I say that, somebody will say, I had the worst day ever. But I don't think it's going to be that caliber of connection. But it is Mars in a quincunx with the planet Saturn, which is in retrograde. So we may be having to redo something maybe that we've already done. Mars is an action planet. And in some ways, perhaps we have a feeling of timing being off today. Remember, Saturn is Chronos. He rules time. And we may be, if we're trying to force our way into something or force something to get done, the more we try to force or do, the more we may have that pushback feeling. So what we need to do when it is a quincunx requires us to adjust our energy, to adapt, or to sacrifice something. And by sacrifice, I mean, let go of whatever it is that you think that you needed to be doing, or the way that you thought it should happen. Let it go. We have Mars that's in fire, Leo, and we have a Saturn that's in Earth, Capricorn, and fire plus Earth equals scorch, right? Or equals resistance to our plans. So it's humans plan, God laughs kind of thing. So today things may just feel off. If you're trying to push something to happen, let it go, right? Just let it go. Be willing to adjust your plans, be willing to adjust your action steps to whatever it is that seems likely to flow for you today. And if that means you have to put the project on the shelf until Monday or another day and during the weekend, then so be it, right? Go with that flow. Now, today's Pleiadian-Earth energy, holy cow, I didn't write down what these might mean. The Earth energy today, or the universal energy, is 7. And 7 is the number, I want to say, of merging, but let's see here. It is merging. I'm getting these down. So merging is a day of opportunity to bring things together, to merge our ideas, to merge our energies. And then the energy of the Earth today is loving, which is Lamat. And interesting because Lamat in Mayan was the energy of the Venus star, and it conferred luck and it conferred beauty and creativity. And indeed, we see that today with loving as the energy, it's a good day to be enthusiastic. It is a good day to be productive, but productive meaning moving in a direction of what's opened up for you, right? You can't force things. The negative side of the energy of Lamat is being aggressive or assertive. And of course, that's Mars hallmark right there, right? Being overly aggressive or overly assertive. So we want to avoid being that way. We want to be merging our energy. We want to be in loving energy, see the opportunities when they arise, move with them, not against them. Right. So if you're finding yourself coming up to a roadblock, or even just that feeling that, this isn't the right timing for something, then wait, right? Put the brakes on for the time being. Don't be afraid to stop yourself and do something else for the time being. Maybe go outside and enjoy the gorgeous day, right? All right, let's say good morning to some of the people out here. I already said good morning to you, Asa. Thank you for showing up this morning. So I knew I was broadcasting, but not visible. Lynn, good morning. Great to see you. Debbie Hedden, good morning to you as well. Happy Friday to you, Allison. Patricia says, Yahoo, it's Friday. Asa says, glad to see you. Good morning, Debbie Tibbetts Tumiel, and good morning, Camille. Great to see all of you out there. Irina, good morning. She says, happy Friday. Okay, so that was interesting. I don't even know where that came from. It was like a big bee. Just went right across my face and out the door. Okay, so maybe a message for us, right? I will be doing a couple of card readings today. And I know some people reached out to me yesterday. Debbie Tibbetts Tumiel, you're one. There was another person, I don't remember now who that was. So if you are out there and you wanted a card reading today, let me know, because I'll be taking that up here as soon as we finish the weekend energy. So let's go on to Saturday. Saturday morning, we'll wake up. The moon is in Gemini. For us here on the West Coast, when we went to bed, the moon was in Gemini. Likely, unless you went to bed early, you are going to have the moon in Gemini. And also tomorrow, Venus moves into Leo, and you'll see scrolling at the bottom of the screen now, I can put in like what's the top thing for the weekend, or the top energy for the day. In this case, the top energy for the weekend is Venus moving into Leo, where we now feel pride in love. In other words, we're taking pride in our relationships, and we have this loving and wonderful feeling that we want to project outward from ourselves to others in our world. We're very generous during a Venus in Leo. Remember, Venus rules our resources, so our money, our time, our energy, and any other resources that we might have. And Venus also rules our values and our relationships. And Leo is a sign of magnanimity and generosity of spirit, but also in the physical world. It is also on the more negative side. It can be narcissistic and aggressive in terms of being arrogant and wanting all of the attention. So we can expect sort of that Venus in Leo is our wanting to be in the center of the world. We want to be the center of somebody's world. We want to have that attention lavished upon us. But guess what? We're also quite willing to lavish that attention and that love on other people. In fact, this will be a time from July 27th to August 21st, Venus will play in Leo. And this will be a time when we thrive on that attention that other people bestow upon us. And those people in your world will thrive on the attention that you bestow upon them. You want to be made the center of someone's world, but you'll also be very easy to make someone else the center of your world. There is love, there is fun, there is play, there is vacation, there is song and dance and music. So we have a really good time with Venus in Leo. And there's passion as well, right? If you start a love interest or a romance during this time, it's not necessarily, depending on your own personal chart now, it's not necessarily destined to last forever, because this energy is a little more capricious than that. But it doesn't mean that if a new relationship is started in your own chart, depending on the setup in your own chart, if Saturn's involved perhaps, or something else, it could take on the love that turns into relationship that ends up turning into maybe marriage or long-term commitment. We need to watch, though, for the next few weeks for over extravagance, right? Venus in Leo loves to give and loves to receive, and it can trigger that over extravagance, right? It's like looking at everything in sparkles, right? It's diamonds, it's pearls, it's the more expensive of everything. There's champagne taste, but if you're doing that champagne buying on a beer budget, then you might have a reckoning when it comes time for Venus to move into Virgo after August 21st. So you want to take a little bit of caution and a little bit of care that you're not overspending now, and then you'll live to regret it later as Venus moves into a more practical, down-to-earth sign after August 21st. There's also the possibility during this time to experience ego clashes with these same people. If you put two Leos with a lot of Venus passion and you put them in the same room and they're both vying for attention, you get what I mean? It could be the ugly side of all of this, which is a competition to see who gets to be at the top of the throne. So remember, we are evolving away from hierarchical energy and into more synchrony or synarchy, where we are all equals. So the one thing we might have to watch with certain people out there in our worlds is the temptation to get into a pissing contest with one another over who gets the top seed, right? Or who gets to be the prime, the alpha lion, right? Try not to get yourself drawn into those kinds of things. Let's see, Allison, yes, you can. And let me make notes as people tell me these things. Allison, spirit animal. And Debbie doesn't, we'll see what I do for Debbie. Regina Green, good morning. Yes, I would appreciate a card reading today. Regina, you are it. Patricia says, the bee symbolizes community, brightness, and personal power. Follow the bee to discover your new destination. The ancient Druids saw the bee as symbolizing the sun, the goddess, celebration, and community. At festivals, mead was usually drunk, the main ingredient of which is fermented honey. You're absolutely right, Patricia. Thank you for sharing that. And I love it. It's, I in the morning when it's going to be a warm day, I have both doors open, the front door and my back door. So I think sometimes it becomes an insect superhighway. and that one just happened to take a tour around me and out, because I'm not sitting exactly well, maybe I am sitting in alignment with the back door, but not the front door. They're just kind of off a little bit. So thank you for that. And let's see. So tomorrow, Saturday's Pleiadian-Earth energy moves to the 8th feeling. Now, feeling energy in the Mayan calendar was Muluk, and Muluk was associated with water, and water, of course, emotion and feelings. And the number 8 in as the universal energy tomorrow is the number of connecting. So it's about communication. That's kind of funny because the moon in Gemini at the same time is about communication, and here we have about connecting. So connecting hearts, connecting minds, connecting ideas, all different kinds of ways that we can merge, well, not merge because that's today, but connect with new people, new ideas, and generate some abundance, because 8 is also a number of abundance in Mayan and the Pleiadian-Earth energy. The feeling part of this with Muluk, though, reminds us that there can be emotion that is there for everybody to experience. It's the chance for us to deal with emotion, but we want to watch for emotional reactivity. Now, I didn't really see any major emotional Cancer type connections with the moon in Gemini for Saturday. The only moon connection, really, moon meaning our emotions, was a sextile to the sun. That's usually a really nice flow of energy. So hopefully the feeling is the feel good kinds, right? The feeling good, and not necessarily the more negative ones. It might be the lift that you get when someone pays attention to you. It might be the lift that you get when in a conversation of like minds, or, of people that you don't normally have a conversation with. So I think Saturday is a great day for communicating and feeling into the good things in life, and maybe letting go the past few weeks of craziness in favor of the things that make you feel good or make you happy. Not that we always want to not feel the negative things. I don't mean that. I think we've had enough of that. And this is our opportunity tomorrow to really clue into what makes me happy and what makes me feel good, and then get out in the world and experience that. Okay. Now, Sunday also, all day long, the moon is in Gemini, and it is opposing Jupiter that day, sextiling Mars, and squaring Neptune. It is also going to be a day of a long void of course moon. So lazy days on Sunday. And here we go. The void of course begins at 8:24 at my time, so 11:24 for those of you on the East Coast, and ends at 4:31 a.m. Monday morning when the moon moves into Cancer. So we'll start the week, thankfully not in a void of course moon, but with the moon having made the move into her own native sign, which is the sign of Cancer. Now, so most of the day, Sunday, then, isn't a day to start something new. It's kind of funny because I was feeling this desire, this urge. Normally, Saturdays, I write if I'm home, and I don't know if I'm home this weekend now that I think about it. But normally on Saturdays, I write the energy for the week ahead, and I put it on as a blog post, or I put out my newsletter. And I've been feeling all week like I need to get that done sooner, because it's normally Sunday morning that I'm actually triggering the email to go out. And so that is why likely that I'm feeling that, because the moon in void of course isn't going to be a good time for me to start that. It's going to go nowhere. But if I can start it now, which I've already started it, and get it done before then, and just have it sent out by automation on that day, I'm in good shape. So sometimes we can feel the energy that's popping up and what it is that we should be doing about that just by tuning inward. So it's a great time on Sunday to relax, enjoy the day, meditate, do some contemplative work, just spend it with family, without having to start anything or do anything of real importance because of that long void of course. So that means also then that the 3 contacts that the moon does make are made early in the day. And then it looks like the last contact that the moon will make will be a square to Neptune, which is also another sort of lazy days sort of connection. And follow that lead. Just have some, relaxation time Sunday. Don't make yourself do anything that you don't have to do, right? On Sunday as well, the sun will line up in a trine with Chiron. A trine is a 120-degree angle. It represents an ease and flow of the energies between the two. So the sun, our identity and our personalities, and Chiron, the wound or the healing path we're taking through the wound. So here's a possibility that because of the void of course moon, that maybe you're thinking about something that's triggered you in the past, and suddenly you have an aha moment and an issue that's plagued you forever is resolved, right? Or you're feeling into this growth that's been occurring for you. You're feeling into the healing aspects that have been being presented to you for whatever it is that in your own personal life has been the biggest wound. This is a time for us to sort of feed into self-respect, self-appreciation, self-love, anything we could put the self in front of, self-esteem, self-reliance, self-acceptance, and to increase that in our life, to bring that out more and more in our lives. So the sun trine Chiron, unlike maybe a square to Chiron, brings us the opportunity for the healing end of things as opposed to the wounding end of things. Now, does that mean no one out there is going to experience a wound? No, not exactly. You may experience the wound, but what it might also bring you in the same experience is the pathway out of that, right? The resolution to it. As in, maybe you see it happening. You know, have you ever had that moment where you're watching yourself get triggered by something or by someone, and you step back for that moment and suddenly clarity bombs you, like a photobomb, right? In that moment, the light goes on and you see it and you understand it and you grasp the meaning of this in your life. And in that moment, you have the opportunity to choose what happens next. Right. So we have that kind of opportunity also on Sunday with the sun in a trine to Chiron. Now, I want to also let you know this is building now, right? This is building today. The sun is already at 3 degrees of Leo, and the planet Chiron is at 5 degrees of Aries. So they're only 2 degrees apart, a bullet burn, if you will, between the two of them. So this could be in the process today, tomorrow, or on Sunday. It may have even already been something that triggered you earlier this week that you will find resolution to as we get closer to the exact coming together of those two planets. On Sunday, we also have 9 devoting in our human design, in our Pleiadian-Earth energy. Devoting energy is ok, dog. It's loyal energy. It's the energy of being devoted to one another, that loyalty that is inspired within us for supporting our friends or our families, our causes, etc. And the number 9 is harmonizing. Yes, it is. So it's a day for bringing more harmony into your life and doing those things that support harmony, that don't necessarily upend the apple cart and turn things upside down. So Sunday, also a good day through the Pleiadian-Earth energy. The only negative, I think, in this is, so with the energy of devoting, we might have to question what we are devoted to, who we are devoted to. And does that group, that person, that ideal deserve our love and devotion, right? Sometimes we get devoted to an ideal. We get devoted to something for some reason, right? And then we hold fast to that. And no matter what else is happening, you know, in our devotion to that group or that person, we overlook that because of the one thing that we stay devoted to. And to be that way is to get stuck in being devoted to what is possibly the wrong thing. So check your devotion levels on Sunday. Are you devoted to the right thing, to the right person, to the right part of yourself, to the right work, to whatever it is that you can think of, right? All right. So questions, anybody out there about Saturday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? That's a lot of energy. That is good stuff, right? I love that. We deserve this. We deserve the breather, and we deserve to be able to feel like we are that there's happiness on the planet as well as the crankiness on the planet. So, all right. So let's take a look then at the human design for the weekend. We talked yesterday about the Earth and the Sun having moved into the gates 31 and 41. And 41, I don't think we talked too much about 41 yesterday because we focused on the leadership things of 31. But 41 is the energy that starts the human design year. So we're exactly opposite of the point in time that the human design year begins. And that's when the sun sits at 41. Well, the Earth at 41 plays an interesting role, I think, in that this is the gate of fantasy, of imagination, of creativity, right? It's the impulse energy. It sits on the root center. So there's an impulse to dream a dream, right? To imagine something, to fantasize about what would it be like if, right? The what ifs. And this is the big gate of what if, but it is also a gate where in the Earth, we can get stuck here. We can get stuck in the dreaming and the imagination or the fantasy of it all and never really get anything off the ground. So we have to be wise to that need that we have to be imaginative and to create, but that also means that we have to do something with that energy. And ultimately that energy hooks into the emotional center, the solar plexus, where our desires reside. And so the energy here connects your imagination to your desires and then is just begging to be brought up from the lower parts of the human design up to the throat to be made manifest. So here is the tendency to get stuck in just the imagination and never get the ideas up and off the ground and out into the world. But the high potential here is to have that imagination turn into something that you're really desirous of, and then taking that desire energy and using it as the fuel to make it manifest, right? Good energy, I think, for us for the week. Let me just take a look real quickly at the weekend and see if there's any big changes going on in anything. Really, there isn't. We talked about everything that's changing. We don't have any other big changes until the 30th, and the 30th isn't until next week. So we're good. We are good from a human design perspective for the weekend as well. Okay, now let's do some reading. So Debbie, I'm going to pick the Wisdom of the Oracle card for you, girlfriend. I don't remember what you wanted to know about. I don't think you actually told me. So we're just going to see what the spirits want to inform you of, that they want to let you know about, and leave it that way. Irina, I see that you would like a card reading as well. Irina and Regina, Allison and Debbie, Asa as well. Let me write names down because if I don't, I will leave someone out. Okay, so Debbie, this card jumped out. And it is the card Round and Round, card number 25. And it is upside down in protection, round and round, right? What do you want to make a bet? This is something like things that keep coming up, round and round. Card 25, which is the 7. And it says I'm going to read the essential meaning, Debbie, and then I'll go into the protection. The essential meaning is the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated. Cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. Woohoo! And it says, that's not the page it says it on. Here we go. Are you refusing to see your own personal responsibility for repeating lessons you don't need to relearn? You have to surrender now to the fact that you are the common denominator in all these repeat performances. Be happy, for this is a wonderful spot to be in. You can now see the cycles that you wish to exit. Once you figure out that you have the power to stop going round and round, you possess the key to your freedom. Be good to yourself. It's not about blame, but accountability. You can have the abundant life filled with love and prosperity that Spirit so wants for you. All right, Debbie, I hope that makes sense for you because it certainly jumped out of the deck at us. And Debbie, after Debbie is Allison, and Allison had asked for a spirit animal card. By the way, these decks that I use, just for those of you who are new and maybe haven't seen them before, the one I just pulled from was the Wisdom of the Oracle, Woto, by Colette Baron Reed. It is a wonderful deck, and I swear it's magic. It's magic. The other deck that I've been using, hold on, is the Spirit Animal Oracle, also by Colette Baron Reed. Isn't that a beautiful look? And I love this deck as well. These cards in this deck are absolutely gorgeous and also magical. Right? All right, so this is for you, Allison. A spirit animal for Allison. And Irina, thank you for letting me know that. Thank you for letting me know that, Asa. Gotcha. Whoa, a whole pack pulled out of the deck. But what the, and I'm not reading that whole pack because I'm pretty sure that this is the one for you, Allison. And I don't know, somebody had this one last week. Elephant Spirit. Let me turn it around. Elephant Spirit, isn't she beautiful? This is card number 25 as well, which is a 7. Is that 25? Literally, it is card 25. So I see a theme here, a spiritual theme. Elephant Spirit says, learn from the past. And isn't that interesting? Debbie's card, Round and Round, also seemed to say that same thing about, the past. So let's look and see what Elephant brings for you, Miss Allison. 25. So where's our Suzanne this morning? She would have already had our numbers up there telling us what that means. 7. Okay, so Elephant Spirit says, learn from the past. In upside down mode, it was in protection, and it says, are you feeling uncomfortable with a tradition, custom, or familiar behavior that no longer fits who you are? Do you wish the past could be erased so it could no longer cause you a moment's pain? Elephant Spirit is here to encourage you to write a different story and alter the traditions in ways that acknowledge that we all evolve, for transformation is our nature. Elephant Spirit calls you to not be selective in your memory, because ignoring the good or the bad will prevent you from growing your wisdom and strength. Build on the best of the past, learn from the worst, and walk into the future with dignity, accompanied by Elephant Spirit, who remembers the truth and honors your strength and wisdom. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful message. Yes. Okay. And I wonder, just because I saw Cow Spirit was behind that. Cow, isn't she beautiful, right? And cow is often related to miracles and abundance. And here it says the miracles are endless. And it is card number 15. So just because that card was there, but it was also in reverse. Let's take a look and see, Allison, just for a little bit of further clarity, if there's something else we can glean from this message. And 15, Cow Spirit says, and I'll show you the card again because she's just so pretty with all of her flowers. And Cow Spirit asks you to pay attention to how you nourish your mind, body, and spirit, because right now you are wobbling around like a newborn calf on its unsteady legs. Perhaps you've been spending too much time distracting yourself on the internet, or obsessing over a relationship, or choosing to eat food that is not healthy. Whatever it is, you're being nudged to assess how you are looking after your needs. Remember, the universe has a way of reflecting back to you events and conditions that match how you treat yourself. Ooh, that's a big one for all of us. Cow Spirit reminds you that the universe wants to give you the very best, but needs you to do your part to participate and nourish your well-being. Heed her message and everything will shift in your favor. Wow, I hope that helps you. Debbie says, I get that card all the time. Thank you. Maybe I still haven't gotten its real meaning. I asked Colette once in class, and all she said was, read the book and the card's meaning, but I'm still obviously needing clarity. I guess, Debbie, what you could do is, take that card round and round and put it at the top of the page, right? Because you have this deck, or take a picture of it. And, I like visuals, and I like manipulatives, things that you can touch, and which is why I like books, but I also have my Kindle, but most of the time I like actual books. So I would take a picture of this card, and then I would print it, and then I would put it on a piece of paper. And then I would start writing random thoughts about, what does it mean for you? What does that mean? What things are you repeating? What's going round and round? One place that I see, and this is just me, right? And it may not be anything, but what I see is our conversations that we seem to have about you moving. away from where you are and maybe buying other property somewhere or living elsewhere. That seems to be something that, just since, the last several months has been going round and round. So I don't know if that's it or not, but it's worth looking at that. And what does it mean for you? What's holding you back? And what does it represent to you to have that opening for moving forward there? So, and I can only say that because I know, that that's also something that's been, working in your mind. Okay. So that's a possibility. Good morning, Eileen Seitz. It's good to see you. Allison, my favorite number is 7. Will do. Thank you. You asked me to look at the past for our next meeting. Cow does. There you go. Right. Perfect. Good morning, Dion. Excuse me. Jacqueline Tyler, good morning to you. And Debbie says, thank you. Okay. Now this next card was for Allison, Regina. And Regina, I don't remember now if you asked me to do a specific card. Regina, yes, would appreciate a card today, please. Okay, well, since I have the cards in my hands that are the animal cards, and it seems to be the popular card of the day, or cards for the day, that's the cards I'm going to draw from for you, okay? So this is for you, Regina. And by the way, Regina, welcome to the Meta Cafe. I don't think I've ever seen you in here live with us, and it's really good to see you out there and to have you join us. And oh, I love this card. I just love this card. This is number 9, Brown Bear Spirit. It says, take time out. So Regina, this is for you. Number 9, Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Can I move it this way there? And I feel like such a dork. All right. So beautiful card. Look at her. And she's got her bear paw across her heart. She has the Native American feathers in her ear, or in her, behind her right ear. She also has, I don't know if you can see, like a thunderbird or something in her forehead. Let me move it in closer. Right, you can see the stones. They look like maybe turquoise and obsidian. And she's wearing war paint, or maybe it's not war paint, but all right. And she came out upright. So let's read card number 9 for you. And the meaning, oops, wrong card, wrong deck. That would have been interesting. You just have to laugh some days, Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. It says, there is a time to act and a time to focus your attention on patient strategizing. The arrival of Brown Bear Spirit signals that you are best served by foregoing hard work towards your goals at this moment and instead taking the time out to meditate or just take a nap so you can refresh yourself and begin planning what you want to co-create next. Come to know the lay of the land as you contemplate and imagine what you might do in this vast space of possibility before you and begin forming a plan. Remember, sleep allows for dreaming and rest allows for clear-headed strategizing. How might you become the person you wish to be and experience whatever your heart desires? Insights will arise as you explore the possibilities and begin envisioning your plan. Knowing what you want will ensure you use your energy wisely in the days ahead. Be patient at this time. Relax and be calm and peaceful so you can recharge. The call for action will come later. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I hope that means something to you, Regina. Yes, Eileen, I will add you to the list of people who get a card this morning because I think we have time. 8:39, we have time. Okay, so Regina, that was for you. Next is Irina. Irina, I think I saw that you wanted an animal card. So just checking back here to make sure. Irina, I'd love a spirit animal reading. I've got too many ideas and I find it difficult to figure out which idea to pursue next. Oh God, well then this weekend might be crazy for you with the sun or with the moon in Gemini, right? So let's see if a spirit animal can help you determine which ideas to take action on. And, my gut says you take action on what is open and available and you let the others rest until it's time for them. So let's do a good shuffle with this deck. And, okay, Flamingo Spirit, card number 26. She's a beauty, right? Flamingo Spirit says, embrace the in-between. card 26, which is an 8. And let's take a look at that. We've had this card many times. And the message in general seems to be that sometimes we are in the space of no space and in the time of no time, where we're just caught in the middle, right? Where we can't really land in any one direction yet. So let's see if that's true for you. I'm actually going to read both the upright and the upside down for you, Irina, because it sort of came out sideways, and that always disconcerts me. I don't know what it means, so reading both is probably the best way. Balance comes easily to flamingo spirit, who sees what was and what will be and stands strong in the face of uncertainty. You can be informed by what came before and plan for a future yet to be, but do not resist flamingo spirit's call to be fully present in the now, where the real magic happens. With one foot in the life you are moving away from, and one in the future as you become the one who leads the life of your highest intentions, you must make peace with the fact that you are not fully in either place. Embrace the in-between. The presence of flamingo spirit is also a sign that your creativity is arising within you and opportunities are beginning to present themselves. Remain here in a balanced state of mind, for there is much to know and learn before moving forward with new plans. You can trust this moment and yourself as you take in what you see and become aware of all that you are experiencing in this in-between time. Now, in the protection message, which in some ways must apply here, it says, if you're feeling nervous and wobbly, stop worrying about the past and the future. Instead, be present in the moment, balancing, for now is the space in which creativity arises. Creativity is your birthright, but if you're moving too quickly in an attempt to avoid the discomfort of transition, you can blind yourself to the miraculous possibilities that are before you now and those just coming into being. The past has its lessons and planning has its merits, but right now you may be imbalanced because you're becoming too nostalgic for what once was or too anxious about what the future may hold. There is time to plan carefully. For now, be still and know that spirit is here co-creating with you in this moment. The next step will appear when it needs to appear. Relax into a state of equanimity and balance so any anxiety can transmute into trust and faith that all will be as it will be for the highest good. Wow, that's a perfect card for the situation you just described, right? So there you go. I hope that helps. That was for Irina. Next is Asa. And Asa also wants a spirit animal card. So we have the animals active today. I love it. And I just want to scroll here for a second, make sure I'm not missing anything else. Okay, so it looks like you're welcome, Regina. She can be at peace now. The moon now is 2 degrees from conjunction to my 23 Taurus ascendant. I feel really, really great. Janet just came back from 9 days in the French-Canadian on a painting trip. New imagery, fully inspired. Love it. Okay, so now this is for you, Asa. My eye is tearing. Don't know why. Okay, so Asa, a spirit animal for Asa. Hawk spirit. And Hawk spirit says, let spirit be your guide. It is card number 32, which is a 5. And isn't that a regal looking bird? We have a lot of hawks and eagles around here where I live. So I get to see these little guys all the time. All kinds of them, by the way. Merlin hawks and red-tailed hawks and falcons and, or what are those things? Peregrine falcons. Oh, what am I doing? Asa, let's read card 32 for you. Hawk spirit. Let spirit be your guide. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain and the pond, as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for the synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. Spirit wants to communicate and reaches out again and again. When Hawk Spirit appears, it is a sign to listen. Yeah, love that one, Hawk Spirit. There you go. That's for you, Asa. Hope that makes sense. And after Asa was Eileen. And Eileen, I'm going to draw an animal card for you as well. It seems very earthy for a moon that's going to conjunct your ascendant. So let's do that. And Dion, I'd love an oracle card. Okay, you got it, sweetie. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, that's not right. And tell me, Dion, what type of card you would like. An oracle card. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe the Woto. We'll see. Okay, so this one is for Eileen Seitz. And Eileen, an artist, fellow artist out there, like Mimi, our other morning person, who's not out here this morning. She must be at the gallery. When pigs fly, there you have it, Pig Spirit. Use your mind wisely. Card number 47, which is an 11. Look at, she's so beautiful. She has little wings. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not because it's this, color that sort of blends in, but lovely, right? So let's see what she says. Pig Spirit's 47 and 11. Okay. It says, Pig Spirit appears to remind you of the right use of intelligence, a gift we all have that is meant to be used with love, compassion, and discernment. Intelligence means recognizing the value of intuition partnered with smarts and common sense, which leads to intelligent solutions. When Pig Spirit appears, you are called to respect your analytical mind and use it for the highest good. Recognizing all facts must be considered even when they do not fit with what you know already. Spirit blesses us with wisdom when we allow Pig Spirit to nudge us into open-minded, thoughtful dialogues, whether with others or internally, as we mull over our ideas and what we have come to understand. You are intelligent and capable of clear-minded thinking, shaped by the wisdom you have accumulated and the intuition that will tell you when you have more learning to do because not all the facts are in. Now is the time that your decision-making powers are reliable, for you are in alignment with Pig Spirit's keen intelligence. Interesting. I don't know. I can't remember if we've had this card before, but she is pretty. She's very pretty. All right, Eileen, love the colors. Funny 11, love it. Thank you. 11's a great number too of enlightenment. And Dion, this next one is for you. And here we go. I'm using the wisdom of the oracle for you. And I didn't really see. Good, Asa. Asa says the card gives her the reassurance of her presence and that messages I've been getting from them. Love that. Love that. Love that. Validation, right? Even astrology at all that glitters. Now it fell sort of upside down. So we're going to, all that glitters is the card for you, Dion. It is number 16, which is a 7. And look at all the gold, right? Gold, all that glitters, but in protection. 16, let's see what that means for us. Means for you, but also us. All that glitter's essential meaning is a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. Isn't that interesting? We talked about that a bit, right? About being overly extravagant. during this time of Venus in Leo. So the protection message is this. This is a signal to walk away from what you're contemplating. There is a thin veneer of glitter and sparkle that masks something rotten underneath. Pursuing it will only bring about a difficult situation you will be sorry you got yourself into. Stay away. Isn't it wonderful how spirit protects you? Better things await. That sounds very dire almost, but also from a loving point of view. Let's read what the general meaning of the card is to maybe help you fill in some blanks there, if there are any blanks. The oracle's message says, it's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all the glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or person? And then along with the warning of the protection message, signaling you to walk away from what you're contemplating, certainly means that maybe it's time for you to look deeper into whatever it is that you are contemplating doing or getting yourself involved with. Okay. Regina says no sound. No. I don't know what to say about that, Regina. There was sound. What is it you didn't want to hear? But that's so trite, but that's what happens often, right? The sound goes out right at the moment you need to hear something, but hopefully the recording, which is available on my Living Astrology Facebook page, after the show is done, it just automatically goes there. Hopefully you can fast forward through that and hear what you weren't able to hear. Dion says, perfect. Thank you. Huge project I'm being asked to take on. Ooh, I will pass. Wow. How timely is that, right? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, did I miss anybody that wanted a reading? I'm just scrolling back through everything to make sure. Debbie, Allison, Regina, Allison, Eileen, Debbie. Okay, I think I got everybody. But if I missed you, please tell me right now, because I have a couple more minutes here that I could do another one. Lisa, good morning. Who is the maker of the animal cards? It is Colette Baron Reed, and it is the Spirit of the Animal, or the Spirit Animal Oracle. And I think it's Hay House. I think it's available on Hay House, although it doesn't. Debbie, maybe you would know better than me. I thought that, yeah, she's a Hay House author. So you may be able to go to Hay House and get this deck, or just go on Amazon and do a search for the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And you can find that easily. All right, Natasha, good morning to you. Lisa, would you like a card reading, Lisa or Natasha? I'm still here. Got a couple more minutes. I just think, Lisa, you might need one, or somehow you want one, right? So I'm going to pull one for you. Do I have your permission? Oh, yep. She says, if you have time to pull me a card, that would be great. I just knew that. And Debbie, I will love to do that for you, Debbie Hedden. Wow. I don't know what to say about this one. Chameleon Spirit, Lisa Pedro. It is upside down, but it is card number 14. And it's a beautiful card. Let me see if I can. It's got so many colors, right? And chameleon, the words underneath say act on it. Almost as if this is, giving you permission to take action, where the last card was telling someone, no, don't do it. So let's look at the right book would help. And I think that Neptune is affecting me. What was it? Sun, Sesqui Quadrate. I keep losing my place, my book. This might be one of those interesting days. Okay, so 14 says act on it, and it came out upside down. So we're going to read the protection message, which says, being sensitive and having empathy for others can become a heavy burden if you don't practice self-care. Could it be you're feeling stressed because you've tuned into challenging emotions that aren't even yours? Chameleon spirit does not want you to adapt to these conditions by withdrawing or distracting yourself, hoping the feelings will just go away, or attempting to rescue another who may be having a pity party. You can be swallowed up trying to manage it all. It is time to figure out where you end and the rest of the world begins. Not all conditions are yours to match. You need to distinguish your own color from the rest of the world right now and take time to soothe your sensitive soul. Choose some activities that will restore your sense of being grounded and avoid people who revel in drama. Take a break from social media too. Self-care and a timeout is the answer to this temporary dilemma. Wow, I hope that's helpful. Cindy, yes. Debbie, yes. Okay, so let's do, Debbie wanted a spirit animal. So Debbie Hedden, this is for you. And then, so I'm going to write this down real quick. So Debbie, and then after Debbie, Natasha, and then Cindy Mitchell. Okay. Gotcha, girls. Gotcha. Okay, so spirit animal here for you, Debbie Hedden. And yes, I did put those cards back in there. This deck seems to be on spot on today. I love it when that happens. Okay, for you, Debbie Hedden, I've got Bat Spirit. A rebirth is assured. It's card number 5. I know sometimes we recoil from the thought of a bat, but they're really, really good, right? They're in they were sacred in some religions and some belief systems, and they're for their ability to rebirth, for us to be able to rebirth something. So card number 5, also the 5 represents change. Something's changing. Bat Spirit. And the card was right side up, even if the bat was upside down, if that makes sense, right? He's hanging. He's just hanging around. All right, so Bat says, a rebirth is assured. After something has run its course and died or been released, finished, surrendered, completed, or ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. Rebirth is assured just as night gives way to dawn and the bat emerges from the darkness of a womb-like cave. Bat Spirit has come to remind you that this rebirth is a miraculous one, for the very best elements of what you had to give up in the death of the old are still present in this new amazing life forming now. This is a miracle, and magic of rebirth is every aspect of your life, including the rebirth of faith and your ability to establish new and healthy relationships. Bat Spirit reminds you that at present you are in unknown territory and may feel as if you are lost. However, you are called to trust that your intuition will be a reliable guide as you give birth to something new and unfamiliar. Bat Spirit has listened in the darkness of the night and has heard all your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries, and assures you that this new version of your dream, this move from darkness into light, from lost to found and death to rebirth, comes to fruition with love at its core. Bat Spirit asks you to trust what seems to have died is actually shape-shifting into something even more meaningful and wondrous than before. If you feel you are in the dark, know that come morning, all will be revealed and things will be in a new form that is right for you. Woohoo! That's a big, big one. Big card. So I hope that makes sense for you, Debbie. All right, Natasha. I'm gonna stick with animals, Natasha, and get you an animal card. And Cindy, did you say whether you want an animal? Yeah, I think we'll just stick with animals. They seem to be doing really good. This is amazing, Debbie Hedden says. I know, I'm always so amazed at the ability of spirit to work through, the medium of cards, using even me as a tool to be able to deliver. It's just always amazing to me. And for you, Natasha, I got Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you, right? Card number 52, so a 7 also, right? So 7 a few times today. Scarab Beetle Spirit. magic works through you. And let's see what that means for you. 52. There we go. No. No wonder that didn't look right. There we go. So in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered for the creative magic of scarab beetle. In ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was revered, for the creative magic of scarab beetle spirit reminds us that we can bring forth something extraordinary, seemingly out of thin air. Whenever you let your creativity flow through you, scarab beetle spirit reminds you that spirit has given you the gift of infinite potential. You have an ally as you fashion something new or repurpose the old, for spirit co-creates with you, channeling energy through you so that you feel replenished and vitalized as you make magic with what is at hand. Now is a time for great optimism, for you can accomplish anything you desire and your creative endeavors will come to fruition. Miracles, opportunities, abundance, and love will appear seemingly out of nowhere as you allow spirit to work through you and magically manifest what you need. Woohoo! That's a great card. That is a really, really great card. And that was for you, Natasha and Cindy. This one will be for you. Does anybody have any great big plans for the weekend? I'm thinking of taking a granddaughter shopping for a school outfit. Oh, isn't this pretty? It's upside down, but let's turn it around for you, Cindy. It is the swan spirit. Time for a deep dive. Card number 60. She's beautiful. All these beautiful pink flowers around her. Let's bring it over here and do that. There you go. Swan spirit. Now she was upside down. So let's take a look and see what that means. Card number 60, the swan. I'm not sure if we've gotten that one before. Okay, so swan in protection says, don't talk yourself into diving deep into something just because you see the potential of things instead of what they really are now. The necessary work and patience involved may not be the best use of your energy. Have you seen the potential in someone and think that if you love and support them, they will become the person who knows you love them beyond all others? Have you stepped into an opportunity that you know feels too good to be true and might not turn out the way you hope? Now is not a time for selective, limited perception that can lead to misjudgment. Instead, this is a time for going deep and being honest about what you find as you explore the depths. Have no fear, for whatever you find below will help you love and understand yourself and others, and to make better choices. Can you sense Swan Spirit calling you to dive deep and resurface to choose again? I think that's a good one for all of us, actually. Right? Sometimes we are so willing to take things at the surface without that dive. And this seems to suggest take the dive, right? Cindy, take the dive and see what's there. And she says, oh, goodness, this makes so much sense. Thank you. You all are so welcome. I am so glad I was able to do this for as many of you as I could this morning. And thank you all for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be back Monday morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. East Coast time to share the energy of the upcoming week. And I think that's it for now. Much love to all of you. Take care.